Hey friends, welcome to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City just a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Colin Johnson, with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you're interested in buying or selling a home in the area, or if you're looking at investing in a rental property, give us a call at 423-930-8003, and we will look forward to helping you. Now, let's get to today's episode.
It is a beautiful May day here in Johnson City, and I'm here to tell you I'm pretty excited about who we got on the podcast today. He is a big fella, and he's big time around town, and he's got a lot going on. And so we're gonna let you guys, the listeners, get to know Craig Charles with Crown Cutz Academy. What's up, bro?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on the podcast.
It's just a privilege to be next to you. Like I said, I watch your podcast and I learn and I get tips from you all the time.
Well, you said that right before we started, and I was like, man, that's like one of the best compliments I've gotten, because you've got a great one. You do great things, and you got a ton of followers. And so it's the Johnson City Living Podcast. You live in Johnson City. Let's hit you up with the first question. What do you love most about Johnson City?
I love the people. And for me, what kind of settled me in Johnson City is when I was in college and I left and I came back. And most people in this area, they leave and they come back for a reason. Mm-hmm. And I started thinking, I'm like, why are people coming back? Because it's a great place to live, some good people.
Yeah.
And it's an ease of living.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the number one answer. So ding, ding, ding. Survey said you scored number one. As like 85 points out of 100 for that answer. The people here are awesome.
The people here are friendly. I mean, you would think most people from the north typically sometimes think that most people in the south are unfriendly, but I'm here to say Johnson City is a...
Yeah, I was just riding around with some people. She was from South Africa and he was from somewhere, I'm going to say, he grew up in Florida. But they said the people here are so nice. Mm-hmm. And they were just day one on the ground. So you guys are doing a great job loving people around here. So share with the audience a little bit about your story, who you are, where you grew up, all about the Craig Charles.
Well, I have a Caribbean background, but I went to high school in Boston, then came to East Tennessee State on a football scholarship. I graduated, got an opportunity to play, picked up my NFL. I went to a camp. That didn't work out, but I came back to Johnson City and started my business, becoming a barber.
I like it. So you had Caribbean roots.
Yes.
So were you born in the Caribbean?
Yeah.
And then you moved from there to somewhere totally different.
Went to Boston.
Boston.
Yep.
Was that the family moving you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It was a great experience. Really young, so
okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Cold in Boston.
I was freezing. It's brisk.
And then you came down here on a football scholarship.
Yes, sir.
And then you went and played a little football in the NFL.
Yeah.
Who'd you play for?
San Francisco. Went to camp with the 49ers. Got picked up from ETSU.
How long did you play for them?
It's a year. It was a short stint. I mean, but just getting there, just the work ethic, the hard work it takes to get there, kind of propelled me to what I do today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So give the audience a little bit about NFL football camp and like the different work ethic that you hadn't experienced that trained you to be who you like you're saying, you brought it home.
Well, that's the pinnacle of this sport. Sometimes you're in the pinnacle of anything. You had to put in some hard work to get there.
Right.
So once and most people think, and they look at the NFL like, you up there. So I just use the same work ethic for my new career, which is barbering.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get to the pinnacle of barbering.
Did you always want to be a barber? Like, was that something in the back of your brain? You're like, this is cool.
It was. I think my first haircut was my mother. I had probably 12, 13.
Same.
He's a barber too?
She was. Oh. She cut our hair some.
And my mother, I gave her a haircut, and she said, "Man, this is a great haircut." I'm like, know what I know now, the haircut.
Oh, you gave your mom one.
Yes.
I thought you were saying your haircut.
No,
your mom
I gave her a haircut.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, this
guy knows what he's doing.
But I'm like, know what I know now, I know that was a terrible haircut. There's no way that was a good haircut.
Well, yeah, but I mean, your first one. Come on. How many haircuts have you done since?
tens of thousands.
Yeah. So, right, you're a pro. You're an expert. You're at the pinnacle.
I would say that.
You put in the 10,000 hours worth
Yes.
of practice. That's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I guess we could talk about this. You and I used to work out at the gym together some.
Yes, that's where we first met.
That's where we first met, but I think it was too tough for you because I haven't seen you around over there. I don't know. I think Chris Shea and I were just too strong for you. You were like, I can't handle these guys.
You guys were the beast of the gym.
Yeah, I think you went and like picked up other gyms or something. I don't know. Or maybe we helped you. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, talk to the audience about, you cut your mom's hair and then tell me about the process to get to where you are now.
I was thinking, me and my mother, we had a conversation and she said to me, I have no money for college, so what are you going to do? And I mean, it was like 14, 15. I was like, I don't know. But I knew I had a skill of cutting hair. And it was slowly forming, and it was something that was cultivating a passion inside of me, that I knew that I loved the art of just cutting hair. And it was, and I was really young, but I didn't know it would take me to this place. So I started cutting the neighborhood kids' hair and started doing other things. High school, cutting my teammates, went to college, cutting my teammates. And I was like, you know what? This is something I could do for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there you go. Did you cut hair in the pros too?
Yeah, I cut a couple guys' hair. I mean,
that's cool.
I always walk with my clippers. Wherever I go, I walk with my clippers. I don't cut much hair now, but I still walk with my clippers.
Yeah.
So
you just never want to miss an opportunity.
It's just, it's like a carpenter with his hammer, or a plumber with his, own wrench, whatever. I mean, you always have a tool close to you from your skill.
Yeah.
And my tool is my clippers.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, you got to train somewhere. I mean, like as a professional barber, right? You have to, to get your license, you have to do a certain number. Is it 2,000 hours understudy or something?
To get your barber license, you have to do 1,500 hours.
1,500.
Which
I knew it was a lot.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it really is not in the realm of things, but it is. Because being in this industry now, it takes you about 3 years to really hit the pinnacle of your barbering.
Okay.
To be like, okay, you know what? I understand barbering. I can do it now from starting fresh in school to about 2.5, 3 years to where you understand everything about barbering.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then, so where did you do your learning?
I did my barbering in Boston.
Okay.
So I did my training up there, and then I came back to East Tennessee and opened my barbershop in 2004.
Yeah. 2004. So 20 years ago.
Yes.
That's been a little bit.
Yeah, that's man. I didn't think about that. It is 20 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, and then then you said, you know what? I want to teach other people how to do this. So you opened a school. When did that happen? When did that transition?
Well, initially
occur?
it wasn't even about opening a school. Initially, when I opened my barbershop, my goal was to have more barbershops in Kingsport, Greenville, and the Bristol area, but there wasn't a school. So I went back to one of my classes in college, supply and demand. And if you want to open a business, you have to supply the demand. And the demand came about because my peers, people in the community saw how I loved this industry. And there were so many people always would come to me and say, Craig, how can I become a barber? How can I get my license? I'm like, I don't know. The closest barber school is in Knoxville. And it's a 90-mile drive. And I'm like, maybe I could do something about that. So that's when I decided to, I went to Nashville, and I would drive to Nashville every Sunday and drive back to Johnson City on Saturday and work half a day and go back to Nashville for 6 months to get my license for barbering, to open the school.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some determination.
Commitment.
Were you married then?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, that would have been hard on the family.
It would have been hard. It would have been extremely hard.
Yeah. And then, so when did you say that was?
In 2014.
Okay.
Yeah,
and so
2014, I went out there.
And you started the school up and
in 2016.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then tell me about the school and how it's going and
the school is going
how
good.
It's grown over the last
the school is
10 years.
I have a slogan right now, and I'm pretty sure you heard about it, from a pair of clippers to the White House. The school is going exponentially to the point where I opened another school in Bristol, Virginia. And just recently I got an award for the state of Tennessee, and I had to go get the award in DC. So
you're going, did you go to the White House already?
yeah, we went up there and collected the award.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, yep.
And tell me about that award. What was it for?
Well, it was a small business person of the year. And what was most important about that award is that most people in our industry kind of get like pushed to the side, and all you hear is the last line of defense, your last option. It's not a great career. You're not going to make no money, and you're not going to do this. So it was just kind of it's a combination of just to show that, hey, from a pair of clippers to Capitol Hill, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And I was the only barber out of all the states who got that award. So every state represented, but everyone had a different genre, a different job that they did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it was. I didn't realize how big it was, but it was major.
That's super cool.
Yes.
Now, what do you see for the future of, I mean, I think you said you're maybe opening another one in Bristol, Virginia. What do you see? Let's fast forward 5 years from now.
Well, what we do, I'm also part of the Confess Project, which is the first national barbershop movement for mental health. So I travel across the country and I train barbers on mental health. So my next goal is I'm going to go on tour in 2025 and do some more mental health training. I'm going to take it to the Caribbean.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So like mental health training, meaning like as someone sitting there getting their hair cut and they're, you know, they're often in a position where they talk about stuff.
Right.
So you're like saying, okay, we're in a good spot to help lead these people and maybe heal
just,
some of them.
And just kind of help them get resources, because for so long, I remember as a barber, when I was in the barber shop, I would always try to solve people's problems.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you get into like a dead end spot.
Right.
That you just don't know what to do.
Right.
And typically being part of this Confess Project, they kind of showed me that it's as easy as saying, hey, here's someone who was more educated than me, who was a specialist in this field, who can help you better yourself, or just help you kind of get your feelings back, get you back in touch with yourself.
Yeah.
Because I don't think most people understand mental health or even take it serious.
Right.
Yeah.
What prompted you to start exploring that?
A friend of mine, his name is Lorenzo Lewis. He's from Arkansas, and he reached out to me. Let me go back. So this guy was going to Johnson City. His name was Kenny Anjeski, and he was asking around for some interesting people to interview. So someone recommended me. So after he interviewed me, he connected me with a guy, Lorenzo Lewis, in Arkansas, and we connected. And Lorenzo Lewis started the Confess Project of America, and I came on board and started traveling around the country. And he has a certain curriculum that he do where we talk to barbers and show them to identify certain things that they can help their clients with, as far as like positive communication, active listening, validating, and reducing the stigma. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's big, and that's when I really got the gist of understanding what mental health was, because before I didn't really go down that lane. I didn't understand. I'm like, you've heard mental health and you hear people have issues, but you think, why would someone want to have a war in their mind? You know what I mean? No one would want that. So
yeah.
And if you don't understand it, most people would laugh or make fun of it or just try it.
Right. No, I think it's a big deal.
Yeah. So,
what percentage of that stuff do you feel like maybe a spiritual battle?
I think it's a lot of it.
Yeah.
I don't know a specific percentage, but I think it's a lot of it, because spiritually, when you're in touch with yourself and you're in touch with God, it kind of helps you.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't want you battling in your mind, right?
No,
that's the enemy coming against you to try and tear you down.
But there's still some people out there who just don't know how to get the help, get the resources. And,
yeah. Well, and I think like you said, it's had a stigma for a long time.
Yes.
And we just kind of sweep it under the rug, or it'll be all right, or,
I can remember as a young child, and I'd go to one of my friend's house, and he had his uncle. He was in the back room, and his uncle would just yell and scream. And I'm like, I was so afraid to go to his house. And his name was Domingo. And I was so afraid to go to his house. And I sit back and think now, his uncle was misdiagnosed. So what they did, they just put him in the back room. But if you put someone in the back room with no stimulation, no conversation. I mean,
You're going to go, yeah,
you put me in the back room.
all by myself. Right, yeah, for sure.
So someone with some
Isolated.
mental health issues who just, you don't understand,
Yeah.
you drive them more crazy.
Yeah. What are your, let's say somebody listening right now feels like they need to connect with somebody that, needs, to help them with their mental health. What would be a good suggestion for them listening right now?
The best thing you can do if you or someone that you know is going through some type of mental health issue, you can always call 988. 988 is the national hotline for suicide prevention, and there'll be someone on the other end of the line that you can speak to, or you can refer to someone. They pick up every time.
You just got to hit 988.
988.
That's cool.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, see?
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. See. Well, the listeners, I mean,
Yep.
if you're going through a dark time, don't do it by yourself.
You don't have to,
No, we got people out there who love you.
but a lot of times we don't know,
Right.
and you don't know what you don't know.
Right. And then I think the whole, the pandemic and all that, like really isolated people more. Like your uncle was back in the back room. We were all, and there were tons of people by themselves, and it just made it a lot worse.
There's so many resources out there.
There's so many resources. We're like,
And I think it's such a wonderful thing when if we could take our time and understand that there's a mental warfare that people are going through that they don't want to go through.
right.
So if you can help remedy the situation, why not?
Yeah. I think that'd be a huge help.
Yep.
Now, as part of your school, are you offering classes in that to help?
Yeah, well, we teach, we talk about it. The unique thing about my school is that we talk about financial literacy, we talk about mental health, because my whole focus is if I just teach you how to be a barber, I have done you a disservice. I want you to be a whole person. I
Sure.
want you to be ready to just go out there and tackle everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think even physically you need to be training, and because you're standing on your feet all day,
Right.
you got to be worked out. You got to be ready to roll.
Your nutrition, everything, what I mean? So we talk about everything, just kind of get the whole barber ready to just go out there and into the workforce and do his job.
Sounds like, yeah. And I think it's, it almost sounds like more than just teaching. It's almost mentoring someone through life. You know what I mean?
It is.
Like you're really setting them up for success in all areas. And then, if you're even helping with the mental health stuff, relationship stuff, it's a lot.
If you're teaching and you don't care about the whole person you're teaching,
Right.
why should you even teach?
Yeah. You're just in it for the paycheck.
Right.
And that's no fun.
No.
After a while, you're just like, why am I doing it?
Yeah. I mean, but you'll get burnt out. You won't do it long term. And
That's right.
yeah. So
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. What do you think 10 years out? So you're gonna do that next year. Let's go 5-10 years out. Are you a long-term planner, dreamer?
I do. I mean, I think about long term. 10 years out, I'll probably still be doing the barbering, still teaching. We have some plans to open some schools in Asheville and open a school in Boston to kind of do the same thing, because the whole industry, the cosmetology, barbering, aesthetics, nail industry, I think it's an industry that people can level up. And level up, when I say level, I mean like it's a career that there are a lot of people who are earning 60, 70, 80, 90, $100,000 a year.
Barbering.
Isn't
that cool? Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. I mean,
And you don't have to go to college. You go to your school. How long is the school?
It's about 10 months.
Okay.
10 months full time.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an advocate for college.
Yeah.
I love college. I think
Me too.
people should go to college but
Play football.
Yeah. Well, you have to be specialized in something.
That's right. That's right.
But I think it's an important to kind of give people opportunity to see that, hey, CTE programs in high schools and those things that you don't have to go, if you don't want to go to college for 4 years, there's an opportunity through trade schools and CTE programs that can help you take care of yourself and your family.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of trade schools out there that are going to really start doing well, because that industry it's been pushed off. Like it's not, that's not something you want to do. You need to be, whatever, And not everybody, there's not that many jobs in those fields. So it's kind of like, it doesn't make sense. I don't know why they're,
And a lot of those tradesmen, they're retiring. So we need to fill those spots.
Right. And those guys need to be mentoring some guys, because a lot of it's just an art. I mean,
I think the high schools are doing a great job now, because I remember we never had no plumbers coming into school when I was in high school, or no barbers or electrician. But what we do now, we go into the high schools at the middle school level and talk about barbering and cosmetology and aesthetics to kind of give the kids a descriptive of what we do and let them know, hey, there's options out there for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Are you still cutting hair?
I do not much. There's some people that just wants me to cut their hair.
And you're like, all right. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I enjoy cutting.
And you got to keep your skills sharp, right?
Yeah. You gotta hone it.
And tell me about your shop. Tell the listeners about your shop.
It's in Johnson City. We have 2 locations. In Johnson City. The previous location we moved from when we started in 2016. Now it's just our workforce development. So the kids who are graduated, if they want to go there and start the workforce, we can take them there and let them but we moved down to the Burlington building.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where the main hub is for our program. And we do free haircuts the first and the third Thursday of the month. But we also do discount haircuts. You can come and get a haircut for $8 to $10.
Nice. That's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a great deal. I mean, haircut pricing now, I think they went up.
Yeah. It keeps going up, and they're like, I'm gonna learn how to cut my hair myself. I did it on the back porch, like when we couldn't go anywhere. You were tied up. So I'd be like, and I was cutting my son's hair. It's like, Dad, this is terrible. So I don't have that skill.
Someone told me once before, in everybody's family, there's someone who wanted to be a barber.
Hey.
Yeah.
My son looks at his hair and does a lot of that. Maybe who knows? I don't know. He's got longer hair, and so I will. Somebody listening, that may want to connect with you and get their hair cut at one of your stores. What's the best way to?
Just call, get on Facebook, get on Instagram, hit us up, stop by. We're open.
What are the name of your store, your shops?
Crown Cutz Academy. It's McKinley Road, 2203 McKinley Road.
Okay.
And the other one is right down Rome Street, 809 North Rome Street. And the one is in Bristol is right there off of Commonwealth Avenue. So they're all Crown Cutz.
All Crown Cutz.
But you can stop by from Tuesday through Saturday from 10:30 to about 2. You can get a haircut, or if you want to enroll in the schools, we have 4 programs. We have cosmetology, aesthetics, nails, and barbering. It's one of the. We have about 40% of the new people getting into barbering now are women. There are a lot of people changing careers, from doctors to lawyers to school teachers, who come into our industry. So it's an open industry.
Yeah.
For anyone, and it's not. The salaries are not bad. I mean, you come out of school making about $50,000, $45,000.
So tell our listeners about that. You come out of school, you graduate from your school, and when you graduate in that 10 months, you probably don't have your 1,500 hours in that period.
Yeah, you do.
Do you?
Yeah,
okay, so you come out, you're a licensed barber, and then you're saying you can get a salary job somewhere?
About $40,000 starting out.
Where at? Because I'm thinking you got to go to one of your a shop.
No, I mean there's all these.
And rent a chair and do that kind of thing. Is that another option? I guess.
There's sports clubs, there's great clubs, there's all these barbershops around this area. I mean, but I specifically know a lot of barbers in the area who are making about 6 figures.
Yeah,
easily. So, but it's all you have to put in the work.
Right.
It's just not just gonna fall in.
Right. Yeah, you can't work 2 days a week.
No, you can't work 2 days a week, and you have to go out there and market yourself, and you have to have soft skills.
Right.
Because if you don't have soft skills, in anything we do, you're gonna lose.
100%. You got to connect with people, let them know you care about them, provide a great product.
Yes.
And at a good price.
Yes.
And over and over and over. And it just continues to multiply, and people talk about it. Yeah. What's something you wish you had known earlier in your career that you could pass on to some folks that are thinking about what you're doing?
That you don't have to wait. I wish I started about 18.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I didn't realize the longevity in this industry. And for me specifically, no one was making barbering look like the sexy profession or the profession where you're making some good money.
Yeah.
But just understanding that this industry is one of the oldest professions in the world. It started back in Egypt, and it's a great career. I'm not done nothing besides barbering.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
I can just see the passion on you coming out of it.
Yeah. Barbering is a love. There's a love for barbering that I love.
Crown Cutz. What's the story behind the name?
So I was going up Buffalo Mountain, and it was one of my friends, his name is Scott Lucas, and I was trying to come up with names for the barbershop. And we went up Buffalo Mountain. If anybody know anything about Buffalo Mountain, it's in Johnson City, and
Yeah, come to Johnson City. Take a hike up Buffalo Mountain. It's beautiful. The view up there is unreal.
We was up there, and we was trying to come up with names, and we sat on this rock, and we heard this noise. It's like there's a bunch of snakes just basking around us, and I'm like, so we took off, went back down, because it was that time. I guess it was in the springtime, and they was just up there basking and chilling. And so I was sitting there thinking, I was like, what am I gonna name this thing? And I rattled off some names, like, no, that don't sound good. So as we was walking down the mountain, I said, crown. Top of your head is a crown, and Cutz. Just put it together.
There you go.
Crown Cutz.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it.
I think those snakes had something to do with it.
Well, you were on their mountain, like we're the outsiders there. So I think that's
a whole bunch of them boys too.
Yeah. Who are some people that have influenced you in your life that you want to give a shout out to a little bit?
My family, my parents, on both sides, my father, my mother. I have a really big family, so I mean they've really been influential.
A lot of brothers and sisters? Or?
I don't have no brothers and sisters, just a lot
just
of
you.
Cousins, uncles, and a whole bunch of family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any barbers out there that you help? Who did you train under? Guys up in Boston?
Yeah, Mr. Steele and Oasis Barbershop in Dudley. They was very instrumental in my growth.
Are they going to help partner with you when you do the one in Boston?
Yes. Mr. Steele, I remember when I was leaving his shop to come back to Johnson City, and it was so tough for me to tell him that I was leaving to go to Johnson City to start my own shop. And it took me a while, and I was just like nervous and telling him that. When I told him, he was just so happy, and because he knew that he was part of my development to get to this part.
Right.
And when I opened my barbershop, he came down to see it, which was kind of exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah, Mr. Steele.
Isn't that cool how like the Lord interweaves people in your life that you just are like, they're just great people, and then totally change your life.
Yes.
Like he could have made barbering look like, something you don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like you start training and you're like, oh, this isn't what I want to do. And who knows what else you're doing. And now look at what you're doing because he poured into you and mentored you.
Yes.
That's such a beautiful way it goes. Yeah. What are some of the challenges that you've had to overcome as a small business owner?
Just like anyone else, I think that people don't realize in any business, it's going to be ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
And you have to realize you have to stick with it. Because most times is that everybody's so fast to give up. Everybody wants to swing that big stick and hit that home run.
Yeah.
And I realize it's a process.
Right.
Take your time. Everything happens in time. If you trust your product and you cultivate it, it's going to do you well. But don't think that you just can't cultivate your product, manifest it, fix it, stop and start over, and just mold it into the thing that you want it to be. And you can't just mold it in a day. You can't mold it in a year. It takes some time.
It takes time, doesn't it?
But if it's your passion, there's a burning desire inside of you, that's going to help you. Yeah.
Yeah. Time on task over time.
Yes.
Just keep after it.
Yeah. Because barbering, in the past 20 years, I've never had a day where I didn't want to go to work. It was just all love. Every day I look forward to waking up to going to work. And I think that's something that most people are looking for.
Yeah, for sure. Figure out what your passion is, what you were created to do, and then following it. That's pretty cool. Yeah. You're a people person too.
Oh, so. But you have to be when you're
if you're a barber. Yeah, or a business. Yeah.
But more so, you have to connect with people when you're a barber for you to have retention, and for people to come back and patronize your business.
Yeah, for sure. So back to Johnson City. You're married. You have a family?
Yes, my wife Wendy. Wendy, she does nails. She has her own nail salon, and she also has a nail school too as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you guys are schooling it up.
Yes.
Training everybody up in Johnson City.
Yep.
I like it. What do you and Wendy like to do on date night?
Winnie, like, she loved going to the movies.
Ah.
She loved movies. She loved going to the theater and then sitting there getting the popcorn. And,
Same. Carly,
Yeah.
yeah, she likes the movies.
Yeah,
too.
and we love to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite place to go?
I just came back from the Caribbean a week before last.
You still have family down there?
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
I went down there and it was fun. It was hot. It was a great time.
Which islands are you on?
And we went to St. Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It was fun.
We got married in the Dominican, and just two of us. It was awesome. It was
Yeah.
awesome. So let's say you're gonna go get a burger in town. Where are you going?
I love Southern Craft. That's my go-to spot.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Raphael, I hear a lot of people say Southern Craft, a label,
Yeah.
and he's just got a good burger.
I mean, we travel so much, and I tell people all the time, if Southern Craft, like Charleston's one of my favorite places to go.
Same.
If Southern Craft was in Charleston,
They would clean house.
they would clean house.
It would be, yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, because you would think that, and there's some overrated restaurants in Charleston.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. People stand in line for like hours. I'm like,
Yeah.
and the hype is not,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. They would have lines around the
Yeah,
block.
yeah, they would clean out.
Well, maybe we should get Ralph to open one down there.
I mean, as long as you keep it here in Johnson City, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. Pizza. Where you and Wendy like to get your pizza from? When you're
This is Main Street pizza. Let's keep it simple.
That is
We live
good.
downtown, so we try to do everything in the downtown area.
Oh, okay, cool. I
So
didn't know you
we'll
lived downtown.
venture out, but we love going to Bristol. But yeah.
yeah. Dessert, fun things like you guys just gonna go get a little dessert somewhere.
I went to Union 41 in Bristol, and they had this really amazing dessert.
Union 41. I haven't even heard about that. Well,
yeah.
tell the
Union
listeners about that.
41
One.
is it's a restaurant in downtown Bristol.
Okay.
The lady, Chef T, she was on one of those major TLC shows.
Oh, okay.
And I think she came in first or second place.
Oh, wow.
And she has a really nice restaurant, really great menu. Food is amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got some good foodies around here.
Just say, people underestimate, JC,
Yeah.
the Tri-Cities to say, the
I know.
Highlands. People underestimate the Highlands.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great spot. It is so good. And again, it's because of the people.
Yep.
What are you getting into this summer?
Traveling some more. We have a festival coming up. It's teamed up with Tennessee Hills Brewstillery.
Oh, yeah.
Reggae Wine and Shine. It's a live reggae band from Jacksonville and
Ooh.
a wine tasting.
When's that happen?
That's next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
June 1st.
All right, we'll put the link to it in the show notes
Yes,
so people can
Reggae
click on
Wine
that.
and
Do you have
Shine.
to register ahead of time or
it's
just show up?
it's a free event. It's going to have vendors, some food, really good food, really great wine. It's kid friendly. It's going to be a bouncy house. It's going to be fun.
That'll be fun. Does
Yes.
Tennessee Hills do wine?
They don't do wine, but I partnered up with them, and I started the event 5 years ago.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, at the school, and so we just moved it to their facility because it has more space and it's a little bit more conducive.
Yeah, and they're finally getting Walnut Street all finished up.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. It's been a
Finally.
while.
Yeah,
It's been
yeah.
like 2 years of just craziness
Yes.
over there.
So
So
today I drove by and they were doing like they were planting plants and so that was good to see.
yeah, I drove through it a couple of days ago, and yeah, it looks like it looks like they're days away.
Yep, Reggae Wine and Shine.
Reggae Wine and Shine next Saturday.
Yes.
So we'll drop this one. I don't know, probably right before that.
Yep.
So we can pump it up a little bit. Anything I can do for you, sir?
One thing that I just want to talk about, I think people underestimate the fact of volunteering and community service. I think that we don't do enough of that, and I think we need to think about more volunteering, giving your time, and just helping someone out. Yeah, doing some community service for your community and volunteering.
Yeah.
And that's important.
What are some places you like to volunteer?
I volunteered at the jail, Washington County and Unicoi County. We do haircuts, and
That's cool.
I taught. We had a program in Washington County where we gave 10 women their license.
Oh,
Start off with 10 women and ended up with 5. The license and nail technician. Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
That's a game changer for them when they come out
I
of.
mean, it's important because we forget about the people who are, like I said, mental health issues, people who are in jail because they're coming out and they're gonna be our neighbors. So we should equip them with the skills for them to take care of themselves, because if not, they're going to go back the same cycle, and hey, we have to live around them. So
right. I think and you think about the workforce that's there, that if you could train them up and give them hope.
Yes.
And get them off of, out of that cycle, like you're saying. It's just but they've got to want to do it. And so, if you could break that cycle, then you could change a ton of people's lives. And save the state millions of dollars. I mean, it's crazy.
Just giving someone a chance, I hope. And during that time I was in the jail, I'd go there from 9 in the morning to 12, and I would teach them how to do the skill. We'd go through the theory with a textbook, and we'd have group sessions. Did it for 6 months. And one of the key things that I walked away with is a lot of those women, they never had someone say that, hey, you're doing well. Congratulations, I'm proud of you. And that just went a long way. We just had someone say, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
You're doing good. Congratulations. Just a little, those, and again,
positive affirmation.
Positive affirmation, those little soft skills let people know that, hey, there's someone who care about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they felt loved by you, because you're just a great guy.
Thank you.
What last question? What gets you just fired up? Like, you're just like, let's go.
I'm pretty a chill person, but I like watching when my sports teams, the Patriots, the Celtics, when they win, I get fired up.
That's right, because you're from Boston.
Yeah. Yep.
You gonna go to any of the games?
Well, this is the playoff time. We're in the conference championship, so those tickets are hard to come by.
Yeah.
But no, I typically try to go to a game once a year.
That'll be fun.
And
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm glad we're friends.
Yes.
I'm just excited to see what you're doing. Everybody I talk to in town just has wonderful things to say about you and what you're doing. And so, I think you're changing our landscape here. You're helping people out, and it's just awesome to see it grow. And it's going to be cool to watch it continue to flourish.
Yes.
And how you mentor people and just change their lives. It's just beautiful.
That's important.
Yeah, it is important. It's super exciting. Yeah. And so, we wish you the best. Thank you for spending some time. What's your podcast name? And we can get people listening to it while they're on. Because
our podcast is called Barber College Success.
Yeah.
We're upwards to close to 200 episodes. It's a podcast talking about the industry. Just helping give prospective students a descriptive of what we do, and to help them make their mind about cosmetology, barbering, aesthetics on nails. And I read a review one time, and this doctor I think he was from California, he put a review, and he said that the podcast is more than just barbering. So that was like a great compliment as well.
Sure.
Yeah, it's more than just barbering.
Well, you can't only talk so much about hair. You're getting into people's hearts and lives and learning about them. And that's what I love about this podcast. It's not just about Johnson City. It's about what you said you love most about it. It's the people that make Johnson City awesome.
Yes.
If we weren't here, it would just be a bunch of buildings, and it'd be sad. It would be just sad.
The Johnson City's, and I kind of tend to say sometimes, spreading love the JC way.
Spread the love the JC way. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's we're gonna coin that slogan.
Yeah, you should put that on a Boomtown T-shirt or start selling it at the shop. So, well, anything else we need to share before we go?
I don't know, man. We
can talk for hours.
Yeah, we can talk for days.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best. I really am just glad I get to see you occasionally. And keep us posted. Come back on here in a few years, and you can update us on your world tour and how many schools you got going on and where all you've been. Because
how many lives you affected, how many lives you've helped.
And then how many? Yeah, and if you are suffering like in the mental health realm,
dial 988.
988, and don't do it alone.
Don't do it alone.
Don't do it alone.
If you have a family member or a friend going through something, just call that number. There's always someone on the line.
Yeah, or go reach out to if you can't reach out to that number for some reason, just reach out to somebody. You're not alone in this world.
You're not.
There are a lot of people who love you, and you don't even know them. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, and enjoyed our conversation. I hope you guys did as well. If you want to move here, get your hair cut, learn how to be a barber, be a part of the awesome Johnson City, go up on the on Buffalo Mountain and meet some snakes.
Yeah, that
I'd
was-
love to help you
yeah,
make
that
a move to
was-
Johnson City. Or if you need to sell a house or invest in real estate, we love doing that too. So
Johnson City is a great place.
it is a great place. It is a great place because you and the people around make it awesome.
And yourself.
Well, thank you, sir.
And my man Mitch. in the
My
back
man, our main man, Mitch. He's the man. Until next time, I'm Colin Johnson of the Colin Carter Group and Keller Williams Realty. Thanks and have a great day.